Desmond King, one of two back for LA. Cairo Santos the boot, and week 3 is underway. This is King. And into a thicket. Flag is thrown. 2 flags thrown back at the 10. He's out near the 20-yard line. Walt Anderson.
Block in the back, number 25, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Release, but he is extremely accurate from the pocket.
Well, they got about 3 tight ends right here. Melvin Gordon with some nice patient running. And look at, he continues to squirm his way free. Sorensen brings him down. Rivers to the air for the first time. Swashing the good block at the left guard. And he's got his receiver, but it's incomplete as he was looking for the wide receiver, Tyrell Williams. Gordon with a fake, and then he releases. And he's downfield. It's picked off and grabbed on the play.
Taking unnecessary risk with the football. It's been a problem for Rivers.
Couple tight ends. Kareem Hunt, the celebrated rookie running back out of Toledo. A die is around his ankles. He's up top, and here comes one of them in motion right now, Harris. With a 2nd down and 1. Blocked by Harris. Kelsey's got the ball, and he's brought down by Emmanuel. Kyle Emmanuel with the stop. He's down to the 34-yard line. And a quarterback keeper, and he's got the ball, and he squirts free. Alex Smith, who grew up a Charger fan at Helix High in San Diego, picks up 3.
Custer getting knocked around. You know what happens at the bottom of those piles, Kevin, especially when it involves the quarterback.
It's big. Smith, and he's got him for a touchdown, Tyreek Hill.
Really all starts with the play action, but here he is right here. He's going to run the post, the other side corner, and just great play action fake, and it freezes the safety. For some reason, the safety's late getting over there. And
you're right, Rich. There was some confusion on the coverage. Santos tries to take on one more and does. 7-zip. 12:03. Mitchell gets the pick defensively for Kansas City.
Very involved in the offense. Andy Reid just trying to find ways to get him the ball in space.
Terrence Mitchell was the one to pick it off Rivers, and they go deep again. And here comes Desmond King. Late round draft choice is Phillip Rivers with the 1st and 10 from his 23. Melvin Gordon read it well. Great patience into the secondary and brought down by Eric Murray.
A little bit of Melvin Gordon. I think it has to be the opposite. Start with Melvin Gordon.
1st and 10 right here. Again the patience and the burst, and Mitchell's got a beat on him. Another gain of 10, another 1st down. Mitchell ushers him out of bounds. So far for Gordon. Here running back out of Wisconsin. And Travis Benjamin with a block by Hunter Henry, and he hits the corner. Nice offense to begin things here for LA. He shows speed on the outside. First now the new running back for LA. 1st and 10. Oliver. Watt trying to give a block, and down low they had a tackle by Derek Johnson. Already thrown an interception today. 3rd and 2. Oliver, slippery, face mask, and then brought down on the play by Ron Parker. Into the secondary and down to the 38. That is a gain of 3 and a 1st down on that 3rd and 2. Benjamin and end around for 12. 1st and 10. Again to round, screen pass, and looking for Gordon. Jones in the box, 6 defensive backs, 2nd down and 10. Gordon again. And there's Houston, who's good against the run. Rivers. It's intercepted. Here comes Peters, dancing his way with an entourage. Marcus Peters inside the 35. Sorry, the 34. DeAnthony Thomas in motion. Smith. And it's Thomas across the way, and look at him cut inside. And gets belted on the play by linebacker Corey Toomer. A catch and run of 14. Put him at the 20 of LA.
But you just never know where they're going to line up or what they're going to do.
Kareem Hunt in the backfield, and here he goes. Looks like Bosa may have gotten him around his shoestrings with a run. LA stays in their base. Kareem Hunt, 2nd down, 7. Well, he got away from a dive. Look at this. No team so far has missed more tackles this season than the LA Charger defense. And that's the field. 1st and goal. Wilson. 13-0 Kansas City.
This direction is really what gets you. They get you moving in one way, and then they flip it back up inside to Albert Wilson.
Santos will try to tack on one more, and does for a 14-0 Chiefs lead. 2 Rivers interceptions. Peters had the pick. Albert Wilson got the shovel pass, and 6 yards later he's in. 14-zip. Desmond King will take it out again. 3rd possession for LA. And brought down with a nice special teams tackle right there.
I like Rivers, Kevin. He's seen it all. He's not going to blink.
Couple tight ends trying to block. Oh, devoured inside by Benny Logan. You apply pressure up here in the booth.
I try.
I know. Here comes Gordon. Pulling. Oh, nice block by Gates. And a shoestring tackle made by Gaines on the side. That's a gain of 10 on 2nd and 12.
As opposed to center.
Oliver is in. 6 in the secondary. 3rd and 3 Rivers. He tries to thread the needle. He does. There's Keenan Allen. Gaines with the stop, and also Johnson in there.
When you see that fullback in there, it's a high percentage of run.
Jarek White, JJ's brother. Stuffed again. Maybe some adjustments here by the Chiefs. There's no place to go right there. Plugged up.
Mutual respect there. They were together at the Pro Bowl last year and got to know one another.
Gordon 2nd and 13 got tripped up on the play. He needs their 34. Oliver the block, and Rivers slings it. And with the catch right there. With the 1st and 10, Oliver. He's devoured, taking it inside. Chris Jones, who comes away as the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Gordon in, 2nd down, 13 for Rivers. Okung, good block, but they're getting around that right tackle. He's taking the place of the starter, and they go downfield. Benjamin with a nice catch. Fending off the coverage on the play.
Plenty of time, but you look at what teams have done.
5 defense, low hit to the quarterback. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced.
I think it caught
to the goal, 1st down.
A 5 as in 15. That got things underway and led to a 30-yard touchdown pass for Smith. Gordon, 1st and 10. Nice block on the edge. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, LA. Melvin Gordon, 11-yard touchdown run.
And then just getting Gordon out on the speed sweep. And look at the block downfield. You mentioned Hunter Henry.
Neutralized him. With the extra point here by Koo. Who puts it through? Younghoe Koo. That's a whole other story for him.
And I think the mood of the football team, Kevin, has been very positive. I mean, despite the slow start. I mean, they're really a couple field goal kicks away from being an undefeated team, if you think about it. They've had plenty of opportunities in both their games.
Akeem Hunt, who brings it downfield and was taken down outside Los Angeles by about, 20-minute drive perhaps. 1st down and 10. And this is Archandrick Jones, and Jack Andrick takes it out.
That motion really keep you off bounds defensively.
Good block here, and time, and the catch is made. There's Hill. He stepped right in front of the defensive back, Adai. Gain of 12. Flag has been thrown.
Holding number 70, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Your line mates and the quarterback in the running game and with protections.
West out, Hunt in, good block, and he gets the block ahead. Past the 40-yard line and hit by a couple, including Jatavis Brown. He picks up 10 on 2nd down and 19. They'll put him at the Kansas City 40-yard line. This is the block at the left tackle, but they come up the middle. All kinds of players trying to blow it up, but it was Chris McCain who comes through. Benjamin back and the punt. The Pro Bowler from a season ago. High snap by Winchester. Colquitt gets it away and sends off a rocket. Travis Benjamin running out of real estate, and Anthony Sherman was the one to usher him out of bounds on a 59-yard punt with great hang time. Yesterday at Paramount Studios, Rich Gannon called the start of the race, and our broadcast associate Katie Keene ran with Rich as well. 1st and 10 after the Kansas City punt. Rivers right on the screws. That is Travis Benjamin. 7 consecutive games last year in late November in Houston. Gordon, 1st and 10. The hesitation. He gets by Houston. And he's brought down on the wing. Peters got him. 4 assists. Gain of 2. 34-year-old Philip Rivers getting some blocking and throws it away. Nunez Horches was over there pursuing the free agent Koo. 3rd down and 8. More time for Rivers. And that is picked off, but was he in bounds? It was intercepted. Mitchell, he has his second today. And Mitchell has his second pick.
The play is an interception. Illegal formation, number 76 for the offense, was on the line of scrimmage uncovered. That penalty is declined. 1st down, Kansas City.
28 regular season games. Come in. Near the 1st and 10. Hill blocked by Kelsey, blocked by Wilson. And from behind, he's brought down.
Veteran quarterback.
With a 2nd down and 7, it's Akeem Hunt. Look at the burst. Into the secondary. Boston can't bring him down. And finally, Bosa off the defensive line. Real opening night in Foxborough. 1st down and 10. West was in. Look at the time for Smith. Wilson will off for a block, and it's Alex Smith taking it down to about the 25-yard line of L.A. Gain of 5. Ingram with the stop.
Jobs are on the line.
West in the backfield, 2nd down and 5. Blocked by Fisher, moving up. Oh, he's down again. What pressure. Melvin Ingram, and these are West remains.
Prior to the snap, this is the first charged timeout, Kansas City.
So the flag will not count. It is a timeout. Pressure again, and down he goes again. Smith was hit. Joey Bosa streaming through, loss of 6. Santos with a bit of a breeze inside the stadium from 51, and he is off and a flag thrown. Ooh. He got it.
Ooh, geez, he goes right to the leg.
Yes, he sure does.
Personal foul, roughing a kicker, number 25, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Field, the tight ends are out there, 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt, belted, bounces, broken, taken down.
When they're dangerous, Chargers in a very similar situation.
Pistol. Smith outside on 2nd and 11. That's Hill, who's wrestled down by Trevor Williams. West. Flag. They stop it.
Number 35, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Production and consistency for the Chiefs in the running game.
Inverted wishbone. Hill was back there. 3rd and 9. Wilson. And forced out of bounds by Adrian Phillips. That is across the way, and
it should get better as the season goes on, as they get more and more comfortable in this scheme.
34-yard try. Right down the middle it goes. With a bit of a breeze, you saw the telltales, and the Chiefs extend their lead. Southern California. 34-yard field goal by Cairo Santos, who now boots it downfield against L.A. 10-point Chiefs lead. Out of the end zone, touchback to the 25.
With some poor decisions by the veteran quarterback.
Gordon in the backfield. Here they come streaming through. This is not his strength, obviously, the mobility, and Rich talks about that a lot. It's incomplete. 2nd down and 10, running for his life. Rivers today.
Falls into some tight windows where there are too many red defenders.
Chiefs have 6 in their secondary on the 2nd down and 10. Melvin Gordon, again, the patience is there, and ridden down by Sorensen.
I think he's a terrific communicator. He's really trying to change the culture and the environment here in Los Angeles.
It's Gates, 3rd and 4, ridden down by Kevin Pierre-Louis. A catch and run of 14 by Gates. Gonzalez, all-time touchdown receptions by NFL tight end Gordon on 1st and 10. Oh, there he was brought down, gain of 2. Big hit right there in the middle. Allen Bailey. Rivers 2nd down and 8. Swings one inside, caught by Keenan Allen. Working it on Mitchell. With that slant flag, in the midst of a 3-game homestand.
Illegal hands to the face, number 23, defense.
Gaines.
That penalty is declined. The result of the play is completed pass, 1st down.
Rich, the Chiefs, the most penalized team through 2 weeks of this young NFL season. L.A. has got 3 timeouts. 1st and 10. Melvin Gordon. Ooh, good follow, good open field tackle right there by D. Ford, who's playing with a shoulder injury today.
For a game as they go into the half.
2nd and 7. Benjamin Peters knocks him out of bounds near the 30, pickup of 8.
Benjamin, Kevin, to run by him. He's got unusual straight line speed.
1st and 10 inside the go here. Who is Inman with the catch? Dontrell Inman out of UVA makes the grab, hit by Mitchell, gain of 2. And so they're at the 30. On 2nd down and 8. We'll see what happens on this one. Chiefs 6 in their secondary. Rivers underneath, incomplete. And there's a flag. That's on Peters. He was riding hurt on Benjamin.
On Travis
Holding.
Benjamin.
Number 22, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
1st and 10. And 3 timeouts. Rivers going deep, and he's got his man, but there's pressure there, and it's incomplete as Peters was stride for stride with the angular Tyrell Williams.
And he's not going to back down to anybody.
They just threw a flag after the play on Peters.
Flag after the play.
Usually come from his tight
After the
end.
play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 22 of the defense, half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down. That's number 22's first unsportsmanlike foul of the game.
Gordon. Oh boy, what a nice run tackle right there by we always talk about the way he goes to the quarterback and pressures the pocket with sacks.
Here in the first half.
Rivers 2nd and 10. Keenan Allen. Down to the 3. Sorens and Gaines all there to make the hits. Boy.
Illegal hands to the face, number 68, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Matt Slauson. Phillip Rivers underneath. Grabbed by Williams. And still on his feet, and finally Eric Murray will bring him down. He led the team in tackles last week against the Eagles. It's a gain of a yard. 1 timeout Chargers. It's Gordon. He's to the 11. Nice open field tackle right there by Ron Parker. It's a gain of 12. It was a 29-yard field goal try. And he gets it. 1-score game.
We need to see their best football here the next 30 minutes here in the second half.
Coup the kickoff for LA. This is Akeem Hunt, who was off the practice squad last week and the former running back for the Houston Texans, the Purdue Boilermaker.
Smith to get in some bigger situations, longer yard situations on 3rd down.
And this is the other Hunt, the one that's talked about, Kareem Hunt. And he picks up 4 right off the bat. I had to go back in the record books to kind of put him in perspective in what he's done. 2nd and 5. And Smith, quick hitter. This is Hill. Well, a lot of moving parts, a lot of misdirection. Once again, slowed up initially by Ingram. And then spun down and hit by a couple, including Emmanuel. Gain of a yard. He's up to the 46-yard line, 47-yard line of Kansas City.
What could have been a nightmarish start.
He's taking a breather right now. West will get it. Fulton is trying to pull. No room as he spun away that time from Mebane. And on the sideline with a flag thrown on the play. He is
Holding, number 87, offense.
Kelsey. Like I said, only the 1 reception today, and it was only for a yard.
Half of the season, his run defense production really improved.
Hill on 2nd down, 19. Redwell, that was a rookie who makes the stop out of Iowa, 5th-round pick. West and Hunt both in. West looking for a block, cuts inside. Redwell devoured by Legent. Chiefs on 3rd down this afternoon, just 1 of 5. Here comes Dustin Colquitt. He gets it high, looking into the sun. There's a lot of guys who are struggling with that sun.
Not just in terms of the running game, but what he means to Rivers in the passing game as well.
Brandon Oliver is there. Watt was going to lead the way, and you saw the flag, heard the whistle. False start, LA.
False start, number 13, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
If you're Ken Wisenhunt, the offensive coordinator.
1st down and 15. Here comes the University of Buffalo running back. That is Brandon Oliver, who tore an Achilles last year in camp. Second down and 10. Thrown in back of Keenan Allen with the coverage by Derek Johnson. Now, okay, Rich.
Got to beat man-to-man coverage when you play against this Kansas City secondary.
They bring him back. They rush 4 and outside. He's got Allen. He breaks 1 tackle. And he'll zag and lean and get the first down to the 33. Missed by Gaines, 17-yard pickup. Keenan Allen.
Never feels Antonio Gates come in there and with a bruising block.
It is a 1st and 10, Brandon Oliver, who tries to find some room. Nunez Roches among a couple making the stop after a gain of 3. Peter
allows the doctor and injured player to clearly communicate what the issues are.
With a couple tight ends, 2nd and 7 underneath. Here they go. Allen again. Bad tackle attempt right there by Parker. 5 of 8. Now, that wasn't 3rd down, but they have been using that to their advantage. 1-score game, Oliver, 1st and 10. Hit by Sorensen.
Success running the football, and he wants to see more runs than passes, I think, here in the second half.
Oliver 2nd and 4. It looked like Eric Johnson wrapped him up, the Pro Bowler. Rookie free agent Eckler is back there with Gordon sideline. Okun the block at the left tackle. Rivers deep and for Benjamin. With an incompletion. Look who's out there. Back number 22, Marcus Peters. Quickly got back out there with a smile on his face. Get more room for their punt occasion. If that's what they choose to do on 4th and 3. They had a chance right there to draw them off sides. They're going to punt. Rich, what do you think on this now? You're 0-2.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
You've had a pretty good drive in the works.
It's worth a try, Kevin.
He's number 1 in the NFL in punt returns.
He can dramatically change field position if you're given an opportunity.
He is a blur. This goes in the end zone. Better to keep it away, so it'll be a touchback to the 20-yard line. The stadium today. Second half possession for the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt in the backfield. That is short. Inside, looking for Hill. Remains in 2nd down and 10. Here comes the rush. Ingram. Flag. It was caught by Chris Conley, but out of bounds.
Holding, number 72, offense. Half the distance to the goal. It's still 2nd down.
Eric Fisher, he's got his hands full, Rich, with Melvin Ingram, who's a converted linebacker, now playing the defensive end.
Now he's going to go after Schwartz on the other side.
Good find. 2nd down, 20. And this one is caught by DeMarcus Robinson, a 2nd-year Florida wide receiver, out to the 23.
Now you got to slide the line in that direction to take care of 54 and 99.
Yeah, 7 guys deep, 3rd and 18. Hill looking for a block. Conley was offering, but boy, they converge well and making the stop. Trevor Williams.
Happens, you can't blink.
Colquitt can't blink on Travis Benjamin, who's back too. The hang time has been terrific, all over 4-5. Into the sun, Benjamin. Nice special teams play right there, turned in by Kevin Pierre-Louis. 1st and 10. After the Kansas City punt. Ooh, everybody jumping there. Were they induced? False start.
False start, number 79, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Rich, what about the... Underneath, Oliver, read well, Wilson, all over, 26-yard line, down he goes. Looking at his 6 defensive backs. Rivers has it 2nd, 13, underneath once again, checking off to Oliver. Off like a pinball machine. Finally, Chris Jones will bring him down, wrestling him at the 34, gain of 7 on 2nd down and 13. 7 receptions last week, nothing today. I don't even think he's been targeted. 3rd and 6. Coming at Rivers. Almost picked off for a 4th time and on the ricochet. It may have hit the turf as Houston thought he had it. My goodness. 2nd half for L.A. Hill is back. Beautiful Kaiser punt. I mean a rocket that goes into the end zone, so it's a touchback, but he keeps it away in a flag thrown 32 for the L.A. Charger punter.
Holding, number 57 of the receiving team. A 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. It'll be 1st down. Timeout.
Kevin. Now everybody in the world knows what it means after a punt. 1st down and 10. Alex Smith underneath. That's the fullback, and he's outside, and he runs his way. Anthony Sherman does with the catch and run.
He's extremely accurate, especially with the short and intermediate throws.
Kareem Hunt. Oh, look at him slice into the secondary. Addae is the one who brings him down, getting hit also by Brown. 1st and 10. Time. Underneath. Hunt.
Another missed tackle.
I know it. They've got a bunch of them. Finally wrestled by Corey Toomer after the catch and run of 11. So going back at the end of the first half, punt, field goal, punt, and punt. West. Tried to cut outside, reading it well. Casey Hayward, the former Green Bay Packer and a Pro Bowler a season ago. Hill, blockers, including his fullback, and he follows all of that into the push. 13. It all begins with Reed and his trust for Smith. 3rd and 3. They come at him and down he goes, hit by Ingram. Off to the best start in his career. Terrific defensive play by Melvin Ingram. Left Smith threw 2 first-half touchdown passes. Rivers on the right threw 3 first-half interceptions and a fake and a direct snap, and it went right to the up man, who is Albert Wilson. Read well by San Diego. McCain the stop, and look who the running back is. Melvin Ingram is in. Gordon, excuse me, and here comes Gordon the other way with the block and a tackle, and it comes in the secondary with a nice move across the way. Still formation. 2nd down 11. Nice aggressive tackle again on the ground. Good run stop there. Oliver back out there. 3rd down and 10. Moving up nicely. Everything is underneath. Nothing is deep, and that's incomplete. There's coverage there by Derek Johnson on.
You got to be able to pin him back. Your defense has been playing terrific here in the second half. It's a 1-score game. Let's not lose our heads up here.
Delay a game. It's on L.A.
5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Agitated is Rivers.
I told you position.
That would have been a field goal drive at 58, 57 yards. Here's the.
Now look at this. Now you pin him back. Now they've got to go 95 yards to score.
Which is marooned Smith at his 6. 1st and 10. And here comes Kareem Hunt, breaking tackles into the secondary. 88 yards on the ground for him. Fake there, 1st and 10, slant over Chris Conley. He was wide and incomplete. Smith was on his pass. The coverage by Casey Hayward. Kareem Hunt in the pistol. Oh, and a bad snap. Fulton was the one to snap it. It was caught by Hill, but on the chalk and incomplete. Play clock. We got the timeout called beforehand. Let's see. Delay game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
On to become head coaches themselves. He does a great job training and educating his staff.
3rd and 15. West was in. Charcandrick West will get the ball. Room to roam. He needs the 36. It's loose. Big hits in there. Phillips, and you can also see McCain trying to dig it out. Gain of 11. On 3rd and 15, ball to the 32 as they unravel. And he held on. Colquitt's been busy, but boy, has he been good. He's averaged 51 yards per punt and 2 of the 3 inside the 20.
A great hang time again.
Again, this will be another one inside the 20. Great job by Colquitt. 49-yard punt and a flag thrown on the far side at the 33. Hang time over 5 seconds, almost 5-5.
An eligible player downfield prior to the kick, number 48 of the kicking team. There'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay 4th down.
You do that, I think, by putting out a good product and winning, and it's going to take a while for the Chargers here in Los Angeles.
Nice hang. Benjamin returnable from the 22. And he dances away. DeAnthony Thomas from the 25. Melvin Gordon is in. They have the 1st and 10. Got the block on Wilson. Buys time for Rivers. Going deep. And looking for Williams. Broken up. Picked off. Sorensen on the ricochet. 4th interception on Rivers. Woo. They're reviewing this to see if he's actually scooped it in. Sorensen. Nice play by Peters. Right on that giveaway takeaway for the Chiefs. It was a huge factor in their terrific 12-4 division-winning season. Let's see now as they've taken a look at it. Then you answer that.
This is incomplete. It'll be second down at the 25-yard line. Please put 11:21 on the game clock. 11:21.
Points. Field goal issues both times. 2nd and 10. Fake to Gordon. Quick hit.
Jeez.
1st and 10. Gordon. Oh, he keeps on his feet. And then Sorensen got him.
Anthony Lynn.
Into 6 defensive back. 2nd down and 8 for Philip Rivers. Batted down at the line. Got right in his grill. May have been Allen Bailey.
It hasn't had a ton of time back there in the pocket today.
Oliver in 3rd and 8. And Gates could not get it. And Sorensen was the one covering and broke it up. A guy.
Sharp day for Philip Rivers throwing the football.
Kaiser. Hill into the sun. Oh, look at him hopscotch around, and finally he is tripped up on the play. Emmanuel got him. 10. Kareem Hunt was in the backfield. Going deep, and it is caught out of bounds by Hill, and the coverage on the play by Trevor Williams. 2nd and 10. Kareem Hunt spinning, bouncing. A dive falls on him. And then he also got some help from his running mate in the secondary, Trevor Williams. It is a 1-yard gain.
Backs down to help out on the edge, to help out on Ingram and Bosa.
3rd and 10. Albert Wilson outside. Bumped out by Adai. Jaleel Adai. Well, they got a good spot on it, too. Look at that. It looks like they've got enough for a 1st down.
With some help from the chief coaches on the sidelines.
They're going to challenge the spot.
I don't know if they're going to win this one. I think that's a pretty good spot based on that camera angle.
On the sideline, the lunge.
Good alert play by Albert Wilson, Kevin, to have the wherewithal to take the ball from his left hand and switch it over to his right hand and extend it.
He got that one blocked on the second try. Remember they called
They
the
made
timeout?
the first
Yeah,
one.
he sure did.
You were there for that, and
yep.
of course.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It's a 1st down. Los Angeles will be charged with their 1st time out of the half.
That he's been a part of. They've got more of the pieces from a personnel standpoint to really open up this offense.
There's Kareem Hunt. It's been a chore here in the second half. He's knocked down by Brown. We told you earlier he leads the league in 2nd down and 9. Fisher the block at that left tackle, and they go inside and dancing free, or at least trying to, DeMarcus Robinson. And down he goes, a gain of 8 on the play.
Hang around late in the 4th quarter.
Hunt with 89 rushing yards has it on 3rd and 3, and he dives ahead, and he lands for the 1st down. Kelsey with the 1 catch in motion, 1st and 10. Kelsey will block. Still getting by 2, including Schwartz. The unstoppable Melvin Ingram.
We've already got 5 sacks today.
Well, they've created some havoc, all right. 2nd and 15. That's batted down. Ricocheted. It looks like inside Damian Square.
3 yards.
Chiefs need their 47, 3rd and 15. Westwood's in. Underneath they go. And here comes Hill as he looks for a block, and Conley tried to help, and he's going to be just 2 yards shy. They gave it a heck of a try. They're going to challenge, Rich. I think Andy Reid has something in his hand, and it's red, and he just threw it down. Challenge flag has been thrown. I think that he had not stepped out of bounds and kind of.
I think both feet are in bounds. The right foot is in bounds. Oh, now the left foot might have scratched.
But let's see, though.
It's hard to tell. Keep an eye on that left foot. The right foot stays in, but there's a left foot drag across.
Well,
yeah, there it is.
Distance, though.
Left foot comes out right there.
The ruling on the field stands. It'll be 4th down. Kansas City will be charged with their 1st timeout of the half.
Super Bowl rings with Pittsburgh. It's carried through in the family. Well placed inside the 15. Fair caught, 11-yard line. Travis Benjamin.
2 games they just haven't been able to get to Philip Rivers, and one of the reasons why, Kevin, he gets the ball out so quick.
1st and 10 down the middle, and broken up with coverage by Zombo. Flags are thrown.
Pass interference number 32. defense. First down.
There is no 32.
He meant to say was 51.
Yep. Eckler on the sides that time of Rivers is back there now. 1st and 10 and some breathing space. Ricochet incomplete. Again deflected on the line. They are getting in his grill and knocking it away. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. Rookie Eckler back there with the block, and he gets the short pass. Swing it out. They'll bounce around, and Sorensen will wrap him up. And 16 in one-score games. 3rd and 4, and incomplete. There's a flag thrown. They were going for Gates, and the coverage on the play by Eric Murray. The Chargers 1 in 13 in games decided by 7 points or less.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Illegal hands to the face, number 39 of the defense is declined. Prior to the pass, holding number 21 of the defense. That penalty is accepted, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Wow. He's at the bottom of your screen. Rivers 1st and 10. Oliver out of the backfield. And for Allen, like you called.
I could see it coming, Kevin.
Sure
I could see it from here. You could just see the movement.
6 in the secondary. Oliver a block. They still come through as Zombo. Being chased by Bailey. Here they come again. Houston's got him. Justin Houston. It's just as you just talked about. Pressure up the middle. Setting it up all day. Kaiser to punt. Gets off a rocket. Hill looking into the bright Southern California sunshine at the 12. And trying to find his way. The Zubner makes the stop downfield.
The conversation I'm having if I'm Alex Smith.
Hunt and Sherman in the eye. 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt, Sherman with the block. And then brought down by Hayward around the ankles near the 23.
You get a stop here. You gotta use one.
2nd and 6. Hunt. Trying to ride him down, but he's so strong when he runs. Look at Ingram jumping on his back. Melvin Ingram bringing him down about the 29, shy of the first by about a yard and a gain of 5 for the Chiefs and the Chargers. Hunt, 1st down, corkscrews, and has it to the 31. It would appear. Now let's see what kind of spot they give him. They give him a 1st down.
Kevin, that's what you'll see from the Chiefs.
Kareem Hunt with 101 yards and more. And there he goes. Hold on to your hats. He's done it again. Long touchdown run. Kareem Hunt.
Watch the linebackers, Kevin, overrun it, and then you're going to see the cutback block, and then he's off to the races. Look at that crease backside. I mean, you're asking a lot from your safety to be able to step up and make that tackle. And look at the speed once he gets up on the 2nd level.
Extra point. 24-10. Super Bowl berth. And here they go with, they lose their leading rusher, Spencer Ware. And this kid comes out of no place, and here comes King, who goes to a knee to the 25 on a touchback.
Just didn't even phase him. Just his maturity to be able to handle that situation.
Rivers with the 1st and 10. Broken up. Mitchell, who's had 2 interceptions today. He had 2 in his career coming into today.
It's a winning record. This is an ugly way to start the season if you're the Chargers.
That's caught by the backpedaling soon-to-be Hall of Famer Antonio Gates. Sorensen there, 17-yard pickup. We're averaging 10 yards on 1st down coming in, number 1 in the NFL. Rivers, and he's got the running back Oliver.
That's what I would do if I were Anthony Lynn and Ken Wisenhunt.
1st and 10, and almost picked off, and 2nd down and 10. And Rivers here looking deep for Benjamin, who comes back and makes the catch. Rivers here going for Benjamin again. 2nd down and a yard. No timeouts for LA. Incomplete. Flag. They're going for Allen, who slipped, and Gaines was on him.
Pass interference. 23 defense. First down at the spot of the foul.
Oliver in.
Here's where I would go with the ball right there. There's your best chance.
And Oliver holding on for dear life. Peters has slowed him up enough before help arrived.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Lose a yard. Rivers incomplete. Zeros on the clock. Flag is thrown at the 4. Chiefs are trying to win their 12th consecutive division
Illegal
game.
formation, number 13 offense was covered up, was covering an eligible receiver. That penalty is declined. The game is over.
The Chiefs have the longest consecutive active streak with wins in the division, now 12. They've won 25 of 29 regular season games and go to 3-0. Amazing. Winning in California today. For Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, let's go to JB in our New York studios.